Welcome to another week of Eye of the Storm, a Guelph Storm podcast with myself, Ryan Droy, the voice of your Guelph Storm. And I'm very pleased to be joined by a very special guest, a young man that Storm Nation is already very excited about, and for good reason. The number 2 overall pick in this year's OHL priority selection draft. He's going to be a big part of the future here in the Royal City. Jaakko Wycisk joins me. Jaakko, how are you?
Great.
Good to have you on the show, and let's start there, obviously. Let's go back to draft night. I was at the Guelph Storm draft party with my broadcast partner, Mark Perry. Everybody was gathered around, excited to see who the Storm are going to take, and they select you. What was that night like? And I know it was a whirlwind evening for you because you're actually playing in a playoff game. So what was that whole experience like?
Yeah, it was a pretty crazy night, to be honest. Definitely an experience that probably won't happen again. But yeah, just try to really soak it in that day. And yeah, just hear my name called by the Guelph Storm. It was unbelievable. Just a super special night for me and my family. And just to know that all the hard work, kind of paid off. And yeah, I couldn't be happier to be a part of Guelph now.
Now, I know you have a lot of ties to Northern Ontario, of course. I know Thunder Bay is kind of a second home to you. And, of course, your family, your dad and your uncle, of course, both played for Lakehead up there. Your mom, Jana's from the area. Your dad, Austin, played a long time in Europe, including in Germany. You were actually born there, if I'm not mistaken. Do you have dual citizenship?
Yeah, I do, actually.
Interesting. I mean,
Yeah.
what was that like, having a dad playing professional hockey? I mean, you kind of get a bit of a different experience as a young athlete when you've got a dad. And like I mentioned, an uncle as well, Yerny Kuoken and your uncle, who have pro experience. You have some interesting guys to lean on that maybe some of your peers didn't. What was that experience like growing up?
Yeah, it's definitely a pretty special one. Just have my dad first. He's been great all these years, and I mean, just from a young age, just being around the rink, and kind of falling in love with the game at such a young age, and just kind of having my dad as a big influence on me. And yeah, it's been great learning from him. And then I get to talk to my uncle every summer. We usually find a time to hang out with them for a week or so. So yeah, it's been great to have my dad and have other people in my life that I can kind of lean on and talk to. And yeah, without those people, without my family and stuff, I don't think I'd be in the spot I am right now.
Yeah, absolutely. They say that hockey players, it takes a village, certainly, even more so when you're a young athlete. And I want to talk about the year you had last year. Obviously, you made a lot of noise with the Sun County Panthers. You were the captain of that team. You put up very impressive numbers. You had 61 points, including 32 goals. And, for a young man like yourself heading into your draft year to be named captain of your team and have the type of season that you did, what was that whole experience like, just going through the year with Sun County, heading into the playoffs, and then getting into some junior B action as well on your draft night?
Yeah, oh yeah, it was an exciting year. Just great to be a part of that team for 7 years, and obviously the bonds and friendships I created with them will last a lifetime. So, so grateful to be a part of that. And then, last year obviously being a big year with the draft, but it was kind of the last time I was able to play with those guys. So, yeah, we had a pretty memorable year. Won a lot of games, and then also faced some ups and downs throughout the year, but we kind of pushed through those and had a strong finish, won our league. And yeah, after that, got the chance to play with Leamington and, try to help them out in their playoff run. Obviously, didn't come up the way we wanted it to, but yeah, just a whole great year. Just a ton of new experiences, and definitely a year that I'll never forget.
Well, and like I mentioned, you put up really impressive numbers, and you were actually the first player since 2018 from up north in the area that your family's from to be named Alliance Player of the Year. Pretty darn impressive stuff. What was it like for you? You're obviously a kid who's already pretty well traveled. You've got a lot of different experiences that, not a lot of guys that I've talked to on the show so far have. Has that helped you kind of round your game out, being able to move around to different areas, experience different things as a kid? Do you feel like that's helped make you a better hockey player in some way?
Yeah, I think it has for sure. Obviously, the more voices you can talk to and the more people you can kind of learn something from, it obviously helps in all areas. So, wherever I go, I usually try to take a few things from those people. And yeah, I'm just so fortunate to be able to play in the places I did and kind of meet the people I did over the years. And yeah, there's so many people that have been a part of my hockey journey, and it's been a ton of fun so far.
I always like to ask guys, especially the younger guys when they come on here, a little bit about their favorite memories growing up as a kid, first falling in love with the game. What do you remember your earliest hockey memories? Obviously, both your parents having a big influence on you, your uncle as well, of course. Like we mentioned, what are some of your fondest early memories when you were just starting to fall in love with the game as a little kid?
Yeah, I would just say just being around the rink. Obviously, my dad playing pro hockey in Germany, I got to experience that, and yeah, going to school over there, and then at night and stuff. Super grateful. The team kind of let me in the room during those nights and stuff to kind of get that whole experience. So after the game or whatever, before those practices, I got to go in there and kind of see what that pro life is all about, and yeah, it was definitely something that not too many kids get to experience, but something that'll always be a part of me. And yeah, definitely a surreal experience, kind of growing up in Germany and then being able to come back to Canada and play here as well.
I'm assuming maybe that because of your ties to Germany, I would think that being surrounded by other young athletes, you probably fell in love with soccer or football, as they call it over there. Did
Mhm.
you fall in with any particular team over there? Are you a supporter of somebody?
No, to be honest, but I did start playing soccer at a young age and then continue to play all the way till probably 2 years ago. I stopped playing. But yeah, I had a ton of fun just playing in the summer and kind of playing with some of my teammates and just having fun.
I was gonna say I really hope you don't tell me you're a Bayern Munich fan. We'd have a problem. I'm a Chelsea fan. There's history
Oh
there.
yeah, yeah.
Well, and playing soccer, obviously. I mean, you'd have to get dragged in. There's no way you could live over there and not get onto a
Mhm.
soccer pitch.
Yeah.
I would think that in the early sewer games that you've been involved with the team, is it safe to say you're one of the better players?
It's actually hard to say that. I'm
Okay,
not. I wouldn't say I'm one of the better players. Lately, I've been receiving a bit of criticism for my game, but
really?
yeah,
Oh.
we'll work on it.
Okay, well, what I know one thing's for sure: your teammates can't be criticizing what you've been doing on the ice so far. I was at the preseason game late in August against Brampton. You scored a pretty impressive end-to-end goal on the power play. Like that type of skill, you've already got a big frame, and like I mentioned, you had a great year last year. That type of skill, I mean, it's rare to see in a kid your age, the confidence to be able to do something like that. When was it in your younger days leading up through minor hockey and even getting into the Sun County program? When did you start to maybe kind of realize that you had a skill set that was maybe a little different from your peers growing up?
Yeah, I would just say just starting really young. I think my parents kind of told me I always just had a passion and love for the game, and it was always something that I wanted to put extra time and extra work in. So I would just say over the years, that consistent work and stuff, I could start to see that it really drastically improved my game. And yeah, just the countless hard work in the summers and late at night, just doing that stuff, you can really see that it makes big changes. And yeah, it's been a hell of a journey so far.
Like I mentioned, you've already got a pretty big frame on you. You're listed at 6'1", 185. I'm actually surprised it's that low when I got a first look at you on the ice. Like you already look like you've got quite a bit of size to you. And I wonder, obviously having that pro influence from your dad and your uncle and growing up the way you did, when did that kind of pro mentality in terms of taking care of your body, nutrition, getting to that next level of your overall health, when did that sort of start to come into the fray?
Yeah, just from a young age, getting to see the way guys treated themselves at the rink and stuff, and then obviously my dad having a big influence on me. Him kind of helping me. with the things off the ice and the important stuff like sleep and nutrition that some people often overlook. But yeah, and then just the countless other people along my hockey career that have, give me little tips here and there with that kind of thing. But yeah, just my dad, the experience that he's had, and he's been able to teach me so much about that kind of stuff, and it's been a big help so far.
It's one thing to work out and eat right and do all the little things right, but to get to the type of level you're at and be a number two overall pick in a league like the Ontario Hockey League, you got to have some special skills. And like I mentioned earlier, you've been showing them off a little bit in this preseason. Did you do any unique stuff, in terms of your hands and your dangling ability when you were a kid? We've heard those stories of like Sid with the washing
Mhm.
machine and Gretzky on his backyard rink. What did you do to kind of work on those hands? Because they're very, very impressive.
Well, yeah, thank you. Yeah, I don't have any special stories like that, but I would just say just consistent work at night and stuff, and during the summers, and then grateful that my dad was able to build an outdoor rink in my backyard for so many years. So definitely during the winter, spending countless hours on that, and then uh, super grateful to have a really nice shooting area in my basement that kind of takes up the whole basement. But um, yeah, just so many hours spent there and kind of working on my craft.
A lot of puck marks on that back wall in the basement, I'm assuming.
Oh yeah, yeah, a lot.
Couple of those. You have to repaint it for your parents one day.
Mhm. Yeah.
I wonder as well, obviously having your dad in your life playing pro, your uncle, like got great guys to look up to and take tips from. I wonder just at the pro level, I know obviously someday you'd love to play in the NHL. Were there guys growing up specifically that you spent some time on YouTube watching their clips? Were there guys that stuck out to you? You're like, I'd love to take a little bit out of their game.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say like growing up from a young kid, I love watching Ovechkin, just the way he played, the way he could score goals, and just his physicality. And then as I started to get older, I started to try to study the game the best I could and take little things from different guys. And yeah, there's a couple guys, Kucherov and Draisaitl, McDavid, even guys like that, McKinnon. Just the way that they play the game and how calm they are, and the plays and the creativity that they make. It's truly something special, and something I try to work into my own game for sure.
Jacko, I can almost hear the audience of this episode laughing. Everybody knows I'm a giant Capitals fan, and I love that you mentioned Ovi first. That's
That's
You're
awesome.
earning
Yeah.
big brownie points with me, sir. I want to ask you too, just about your experience so far. Training camp, it's a whole new thing. You're at another level. You're playing in the best junior hockey league in the world. What was it like? Your first camp, coming in, meeting the guys, and getting used to a training camp at that next level under Corey Stillman and his staff.
Yeah, it's definitely a whole new experience, and I kind of took the summer to kind of prepare myself for the camp in this year. And honestly, super grateful I got to train with Charlie Paquette this summer and kind of have he obviously influenced me and helped me throughout the summer to kind of improve those areas that'll help me for next year. And I got to talk to him a bunch about what the OHL is like. So yeah, he was a big part of the summer. And then yeah, just going to the camp, I was nervous, but once the first day rolled around, I started to feel more comfortable, and the guys been great, super welcoming, and just made a pretty easy transition to camp. And all the coaching staff have been incredible, just welcoming me and kind of helping me out with things. And yeah, it's been a pretty fun week or so.
Well, I'm not surprised to hear that Charlie worked out with you and kind of led you along. That sounds like something a captain would do. And we'll talk about that with our friend Good Luck Chuck soon on the show. Yeah, it sounds like a captainly thing to do. And you could have fooled me. You didn't look nervous. I was at the scrimmages the first 2 days, and obviously mentioned I've seen you a couple times in action now in the preseason. What was that like, your first preseason game? I know the first real regular season game's around the corner here on the 19th, and we're looking forward to having everybody out at the Sleeman Center for that. But stepping on OHL ice for the first time in a competitive setting, that must have been a really cool moment for you and your family.
Oh yeah, it was pretty crazy. Yeah, just first stepping on the ice and seeing all the people there, especially there in an exhibition game, you can really tell that Guelph has a passionate fan base. So, yeah, just first stepping on that ice, it was incredible. Just truly a special moment. And then, once I got back to the bench, just took me a second to kind of realize what was happening and kind of relapsed on all the times growing up watching OHL games and how fun those were. And now being a part of it, it's really something crazy. So yeah, it was a fun night and a fun game for sure.
Well, you're gonna love the Sleeman Center when it's packed, and it's packed all the time. The Guelph faithful, they really know how to fill the barn. It's going to be an awesome atmosphere. I wanted to ask you too. I always like to ask guys about their equipment, their preferences, your skates, your stick setup, the flex, curve. Give me your rundown of all of it. What are you rocking with?
All right, yeah, I can start with my skates. I've been using Vapor for pretty much my whole life. Love the Vapor set that I got, and then Vapor shin pads. Pretty much Vapor all the way up except for my shoulder pads. And then sticks, I've been using Vapor for a while. Kind of mixed in a few sticks, but it's always pretty much been Vapor. I use the original Flylight, and then I use the Hyperlight 2, and now moving to the next generation Flylight. But yeah, just growing up with my stick, it's obviously a pretty important part of the game and kind of something you want to study. So I looked at a bunch of different guys and kind of what they use, but ultimately I chose to pick a real low flex for my size and my strength and stuff. So I'm using a 65 flex with a P92. So I like to use that whip when I shoot and stuff, and it's been super comfortable for me. And then the P92, it's just simple curve, nothing too fancy, but does the job. So couldn't be happier with that.
Yeah, the P92, it's real popular, including on this show. And I think that it's like you said, there's nothing super fancy about it. It's just kind of versatile. You can do a little bit of everything with it. It's solid on the backhand, obviously the forehand and the type of release that you're looking for. It's a pretty popular pattern. I wonder, and I'm assuming the answer is probably no, because, you didn't have any interesting stuff you did to work on your skills. Would you describe yourself as superstitious? There are a couple guys on the team that have admitted they've got some quirky stuff they do leading into games. Is there anything that sticks out to you, or maybe that your teammates have pointed out to you in the past that is a little weird on game day?
No, to be honest, I'm a pretty simple person. There's nothing that really sticks out, but there's times where you get your lucky socks or whatever, and try to keep that rolling. But yeah, to be honest, there's nothing too big with the superstitions.
Okay, yeah. So you're not superstitious. Maybe just a little stitious, as they say
Yeah,
on The Office.
yeah,
Um,
exactly.
I wonder too, and I've asked all these guys. I haven't gotten many answers that I can connect with. I'm wondering about the music. Now I know that the room, and you'll have been exposed to it already. Big time country, lot of country music happening in the Guelph Storm dressing room. Are you a big country guy? And if so, what are you rocking with, or what would you throw on if you had control of the music in the room?
Yeah, I'm actually a pretty big country guy as well, so it
Okay.
works perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not too picky. A lot of country, and then I also like to listen to rap and pop or whatever after the game. But yeah, a couple of my favorite artists would probably be Eric Church, Morgan Wallen, and then probably Sam Barber. Those are probably my top three for the countryside.
Those are good ones, and they're popular. You're gonna fit right in the storm room. That's a pretty common answer. All those guys. I'm curious too, and I've had interesting answers on this. I would love for it to happen someday. If the Storm let you pick a goal song,
Hmm,
what would you pick?
that's a good question. Um, I've been liking that song "Let It Rock" lately.
I
It's a
like
pretty good
that.
one.
Okay.
So yeah,
Yes.
probably something like that.
Let it rock. I like that. Okay. We'll keep that in the suggestion bank. We're going to get the team to do this eventually. That's a good one to have. I'm curious as well, just your experience so far with the city. Like we said, I mean, the Sleeman Center is one of the best buildings in the league. The fan base is fantastic. They support the team through thick and thin. But the city's also amazing as well. I love Guelph. There's so much to do. Have you been out to kind of check it out a little bit? And what are some of your favorite spots around the city so far?
Yeah, I've been able to drive around it a bit, but yeah, I've been pretty busy with going to the rink and then schools. But I would just say, especially the first time, just going to the Sleeman Center and driving down that main strip and seeing that church at the top. It's a pretty special sight. So yeah, I'd say just the whole downtown of Guelph, just the setup that they have, it's super nice. And then yeah, I'd say just the whole part of the Guelph is just yeah, it's a super nice city.
It is nice, and yeah, you're right. That stretch on Macdonell Street with the church at the end, it's iconic. It's on the shoulder patch for a reason, of course, right behind me there. Yeah, it's a great city, and you're gonna love it. I wonder as well, obviously you're early, very early into your OHL career, and you've already been around a lot of pro hockey players, but it must be pretty unique for you to walk into an OHL camp and have three guys on your coaching staff that all played pro hockey. Two of them went all the way to the NHL and played for a long time. Your head coach won back-to-back Stanley Cups, for goodness sake. Pretty
Mhm.
good guys to pick their
Yeah.
brain and learn from. What's your experience been like working with Corey and his coaching staff?
Yeah, I mean they've been unbelievable so far. Obviously they have a lot of experience with hockey and stuff, and definitely I can take things from them and continue to do that throughout this year. And yeah, but they've been great so far. Obviously pushing me, being a young guy, and really pushing me to work hard and continue to do the things that have made me successful all these years.
Finally, Jacko, I want to ask you just in terms of your journey so far, you've had a lot of incredible achievements already. You're a number 2 overall pick. Everybody in Guelph is extremely excited to have you on this roster. Are there any goals that you have set for yourself as a rookie coming into the league? Is there anything in particular you want to achieve from an individual perspective? What would you say you would like to see from yourself from your rookie campaign?
Yeah, I have no particular set goals, but obviously, just right from the bat, I want to be one of the hardest workers and kind of push myself every day to, be one of those guys that is trusted on the ice to make a play in those big moments. And yeah, just throughout the season, I want to be as consistent as possible, and yeah, I can continue to try to be a trusted player out there.
That's a good, mature answer, man. I like that a lot. Well, I really appreciate your time. I'll let you go with this. What's special about the game of hockey to you? What's the best part about being a hockey player?
I would just say the connections that you can really have from hockey. People say hockey's a small world, and it truly is. As I've gotten older, I've kind of seen that and all the connections that hockey brings to you in the real life, and it's definitely a special game.
It absolutely is special, and you're a special young player. We're excited to have you in the Royal City. Thanks so much for doing this, and best of luck in your rookie campaign. I'll be watching from up top.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Jaakko Wycisk, everybody. Remember, you can find this podcast on all your favorite apps and, of course, YouTube. You can find links to it on the team website. And speaking of the team website, you can go to the Guelph Storm website to get tickets or the Sleeman Center box office. Come down and watch Jaakko Wycisk and his teammates in what should be a very exciting season of Guelph Storm hockey. We'll be back next week with more Eye of the Storm.